sciences. So we all had to take statistics 1 and 2. Luckily, I was blessed this block to have classes that were like later on in the day, like 3 p.m. and 1 p.m. So then I have more chance to study in the mornings or like early afternoon, which I really like, so I can prepare better for classes. And then Kairos is here. They had a GA on Tuesday. Basically, Kairos is the study association of UCG. They basically plan all the events of Kairos events, which is like specifically for UCG students. And I'll talk a little more about that later as well. But it's just something that really unites all the UCG students. And then there's also an Aeolus meeting. So within Kairos, they have committees. One of those is Aeolus, which is a travel association. And I'm in that right now. I was also in it last year. I did the PR, which is like the social media, the Instagram. Right now, I'm just a general member. But one of the biggest things of Aeolus is the ski trip, which happens every year in a different country. So last year, we went to La Plagne in France, and it was basically a week of skiing. It's really fun. Everyone loves it. This year, they're going to Italy in Salzedux. It's like the biggest thing of Aeolus and maybe the biggest Kairos event. I don't know. But it's a lot of fun and everyone just loves that. A little bit more about life in Groningen. So here I was talking about like Libertas. There's a lot of parties. It's like really fun to just meet all the people. It's really like, it's not only parties. You can also just have a casual dinner with your friends in the kitchen, because in Libertas, there's shared kitchens. So I share a kitchen with 6 other people because my unit has 7 people in it. So here we have like our own bathrooms, showers, and sinks, but you just share a kitchen with other people. But it allows for like a lot of fun activities. And yeah, I play soccer. I played soccer like my whole life. And I joined a team last year that was like mostly UCG, but it was also just open for other international students in Groningen, which is really nice to meet new people. Here's a view of like another church, just leaving UCG and going biking to the city center. This is the forum that Max was talking about earlier. It's really cool. You can see like really nice views from the city, and also you can study there. You can watch movies. There's a movie theater there. You can grab some food. And this is another Libertas party. There's some fun parties in the kitchens. And then with some friends, we also had a Friendsgiving at UCG. You can see Kai in the picture right here. And yeah, it's just like a really cozy atmosphere, because in UCG there's like a kitchen or like a canteen. So I would say like a really big thing about the vibe in UCG is that it's really cozy, like a nice atmosphere. So we had a little Friendsgiving with all of our friends. For the city life, so I love to walk through the park, which is Noorderplantsoen. It's really nice. There's like really cute views. Like I'll go there with my friends. We'll just sit on a park bench, grab some food, maybe some drinks, and there's some really pretty sunsets. And also like in the summer, there's a really big carnival. So there's a bunch of rides. It's really, really fun. And recently there was the winter market, which is the same thing, but a little bit more on a smaller scale. There's obviously a Ferris wheel. There's some little rides, but it's kind of just a Christmas market that would happen in like kind of an imitation of the ones that happen in Germany. So there's like the hot chocolate stands, the glue wine stands. And then obviously I had to mention the snackhoek. It's like iconic for like a Groningen staple, basically. After like going out with your friends, the last stop before going home is you're going to grab something at the snackhoek. So if you just feel like everyone has been to the snackhoek multiple times. So that's just one thing that's iconic of Groningen. And here's a little bit more about the academic life. So as I was saying earlier, Kairos, it's the study association of UCG, and they plan general assemblies, which is where they basically talk about their agenda for the next few months. And everyone kind of votes on yes or no, do they approve of this? It's kind of also the approving of new committees. So if people want to form a committee, like there's a theater committee, travel committee, UC Go, which is like a sports committee, and everyone just kind of votes and discusses on the next events that should happen. And yeah, it keeps everyone informed on what Kairos is doing. The most recent GA, they were launching their new beanies and merch for Kairos, which is really cool. And then ultimately after UCG, I plan to do a master's in political science or international relations in the south of France. So that'll be hopefully soon. And yeah, if anyone has any more questions, feel free to let me know. And then you can also always message UCG on Instagram. You can give it a follow right now if you want to see what we're posting about. And yeah, make sure to check out the Instagram. And that's it.
All right, thank you so much, Selma. Definitely check out our Instagram. We really
Oops.
share a lot of cool stuff that happens on campus. We highlight student profiles. We take a look at some of the lectures and all the other cool stuff that is going on. Because really, if I could only choose one word to describe University College Groningen, it is community. We really are like a little family here. I walk into work every morning and there's a high probability I'm smelling some kind of amazing food that's being prepared by students in the kitchen. Fun fact, we have a very active eggs and bacon team. So if you're into that, those guys are very, very active and there's always yummy food being prepared. Kai, are you ready to share your experience at
Yeah, I think so.
UCG?
I think, can you see my screen right now? I think so, right?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, okay. So, yeah, well, yeah, I'm Kai. Of course, Selma has covered already a lot of stuff, so I'll try not to repeat her that much. But, well, I'm Kai. I'm also 19 years old and a second years of liberal arts and science. I'm a fully Dutchie, so I'm from the Netherlands, so I'm not that far away from home when I'm in Groningen. So for me, it's also a kind of different experience as I'm not that active into Kairos because as a Dutchie, there are also a lot of committees or associations outside of our study association because Groningen is such a big city with a lot of students who are all trying to come together with associations and everything. So in Groningen, I'm in a rowing association and in certain committees in that association. So that's a lot of fun. And well, I like to play football, not called football, not soccer. I like to game, watch movies, and travel a lot. So, and why did I choose liberal arts and science? Well, I was because I was 17 when I had to decide what I wanted to do with my studies, and I was interested in so many subjects. And liberal arts and science offers you a way to integrate a lot of different subjects and learn about it. So that first of all seemed interesting to me. Then second of all, I went to the open day, which I if you're capable to do so, I would really advise because then I came to see that it's such a close community and everyone is so close together, and it's really it doesn't feel like you're studying. It feels like hanging out with friends, even the classes. And I know that sounds weird, but it really feels like that. So they're small classes and personal. So what I also really like is that it's very more about discussion and interactive with the teachers as well. So what does a week look like? Now, this is an example what the first weeks might look like in your first year, because then you have some academic core you have to follow, and you can choose one course you can follow freely. I chose the culture, the building blocks, which I really liked, and it's just a great setup to get to know the way of studying here at UCG. And then now, because after the first semester you get more choice in what you want to follow. So what are my favorite classes as of right now? Well, I'm currently following ethical dilemmas in science, and I've finished already philosophy of mind, and I really like those courses. And then of course, why those courses? You can already see it's a bit more the philosophical way of subjects, and that's because the way of teaching here is not there's one true answer, or at least with these subjects. Of course, if you take a science course, there are facts you have to follow. But what I like with philosophy is that you can debate with others what you think and why you think it, and it forces you into a different way of thinking about life at itself. So that's something I really like, and which is supported with those courses. It's really, yeah, as I mentioned, and Soma as well, small scale, and it forces you to really think together with your classmates and teachers. It's not the teacher is explaining something. No, the teacher is thinking with you to find the answer. So that's something I really like about this program. And then now the life in Groningen. I'm living in Libertas as well. And as I mentioned, uh, I'm in GIAS, a rowing association, is it? And the left picture, that's on the terrace on Libertas. So in the summer, you can hang out there perfectly, drink some beers, and have dinners together. And because it's such a big flat and big building with all the students of like most of them are from our studies, so you know a lot of people who you are living with, which leads to spontaneous nights, like people texting you like come over and just have a drink or eat together. And because of course studying is also a bit expensive for me, in my experiences at least, is that eating is one of the most expensive things. So if you have friends you can eat together with, that really saves up some money. And then Groningen on its own, well, it's a studentenstad. If you walk into the city center, I think 90% of the people you see are students, and there are so many pubs and clubs. Like the Thursday night, if you go into the city center at around 12, it's fully packed. So that's an amazing experience. And I've, I have friends in different cities in the Netherlands who are also studying, and I went there to just visit them and party with them also in those cities. But I feel like there's very few cities who have a nightlife like Groningen, because Groningen is so, it's all together in mainly two streets, and everyone is there in essence. So that's amazing. And then of course, for me it wasn't that big of a deal, but I guess if you're abroad, guaranteed housing is a real pull factor for UCG. And then my plans after the bachelor, well, honestly, I have no clue what I want to do, because I started off with the liberal arts and science, planning to go a bit more psychology and into the social sciences. But philosophy and ethics and more of the humanity sides also draws to me. I noticed. So at this moment, I'm unsure what I want to do with the rest of my life. I know I want to go on exchange like next year, but after that, we will see. So I think I briefly summarized my experience in Groningen. So if there's any questions, or well, you can always ask them. So this is my experience.
Thank you so much, Kai, for sharing your experience. Very, very extensive. So, yeah, I think we're going to open up the floor to questions. If you have any questions, please feel free to drop them in the chat. I'm just going to activate my screen again, just get a very nice scenic picture of Groningen. While people are writing down their questions, I have a question for you too, if you'd like to answer. What attracted you to liberal arts and science in the first place, and what surprised you most about the UCG experience?
Who's taking that question first? Is it me?
I think by default it's you.
Okay.
Yeah.
What attracted me to liberal arts and sciences? Well, my brother did the UCG before me, so I kind of always knew that it was an option. But then when I started researching it and looking into it, I kind of thought that it was like, I don't know, very interesting because, again, the liberal arts and sciences, you're able to take courses from all different disciplines, which I thought was super cool. And what was the other question?
What surprised you most about the UCG experience as a whole?
Oh, definitely how close knit everything is. I knew that it was going to be a smaller faculty, but it really, really does feel like a community, and like everyone genuinely knows each other. And every single time I'm walking around the city, like in the city center, I always see someone from UCG and I'm always like, oh, hey, nice to see you there, because we all know each other. And yeah, it's really cool.
And I see we have some questions from Jill and Elisa. So Jill asks, does it ever feel too small? Well, personally, I can get where this question is coming from, because, well, when you have classes, you're only with like a maximum of 25 people in a class, which I really like. But I also heard people saying that because you always see with other people the university experience in a big lecture hall with hundreds of people in them. So in essence, if you want to experience a big lecture hall with hundreds of people, you could with certain courses, but I don't really like that. And regarding Groningen or UCG, it doesn't feel too small because you can go everywhere you want, and it feels small, but it is really big because Groningen is a really big city. But still, it feels like a sort of village where everyone is very friendly and very open to one another.
I will say though, right now, one of my courses, the smallest class, it's at the smallest class I've ever had. There is 6 students. I thought that was like crazy at first. I was like, where are the other kids? But now that I'm more into the class, we all genuinely got so close taking this class together because there are only 6 of us that have this experience right now. Typically, they're not 6 people per class. Usually, like Kai was saying, it's like 25 people. Like that's my biggest class. But even with 6 students, it doesn't feel too small. Like we're all in it together. We all know what we're doing, and we are way closer to the teachers in that sense.
Yeah, and in that essence, also the you have like attendance requirement of 80%, so that forces, even if you're with only 6 students, it forces people to show up, which is on one hand sometimes annoying, but on the other hand, it's really nice that people show up and you can have a proper class with all of.
Definitely.
Yeah, if I can add on to that, because we offer such a small scale education that really only works if people are present. Like Kai said, like attendance is pretty mandatory. Of course, life can happen, anything can happen. You can become sick, something else can happen. But so long as you're open and honest about it and being in close contact with our academic advisors, you know, they can get some stuff, some allowance there for you. But in general, we do have an almost 100% attendance rule. And that is also why the majority of our students actually finish their bachelor within the 3-year time frame. So that's definitely a benefit. Now, I also saw that we have a question from Elisa. What are the living costs on average? And I have a screenshot for you that I pulled on from the website. This is from the RUG website. That is kind of like a nice little average stats. Maybe you guys can talk a little bit about what it's like to live in Groningen. Is it cheap? Is it expensive? What do you guys save money on, for example?
I don't think it's too expensive. I mean, obviously we're on a student budget, but like as it's on the thing that you shared, like I pay for a bike subscription, so that's like 18 euros a month, and I mean I have to pay for like healthcare insurance. It's like I would say it's pretty accurate to what it says here.
Yeah, and it's how crazy you make it for yourself, because I think my biggest expense is drinks and going out on average.
Yeah,
Because if you eat together with friends, it can go from, if you're eating alone, it can range from 10 to 15 euros per meal. But if you eat with friends, it drops to around 5. So that's an incredible cut in your finances, in my opinion. So that's something I try to do as much as possible.
All right, cool. Yeah, also we talked a little bit about housing, about accommodation. I asked the nice people at SSH what the estimated rent is going to be for the new year, and it is going to be somewhere between 550 and 650 euros a month, which, to be honest, in the Netherlands is pretty fair for 2026. And again, we offer guaranteed accommodation for the first year. So if you're coming to the Netherlands, straight off the boat, as it were. Normally, looking for accommodation can be a difficult process, but with UCG, if you enroll in time, there will be a room at Libertas waiting for you. Maybe you guys can talk a little bit about what it's like to live in Libertas, like what does the room look like, and what accommodations do you share with others, for example?
Yeah, I see there's a question, are the rooms furnished? I think some of the rooms are furnished. It depends if you have a short stay or long stay contract, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's for the first years. There are, I think, 4 units that are furnished. The rest of the building is completely unfurnished. So if you're incoming international first year, typically international, then you would apply for a short stay contract, which would be in the furnished rooms. But it'll say when you're looking at the application for the housing, it'll say furnished or unfurnished, and the prices obviously differ. But
is a room for the first year on a 12-month lease, or do you move out at the end of the school year?
At the end of the school year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think, well, I can make promises, but if there's not a lot of demand for new rooms, I heard people can also stay or move in Libertas, or what was it?
Yeah, it definitely depends.
Mhm.
Yeah, it depends on the contract that you have. Like, I mean, I have a long-term contract, so I did not have to move out at the end of the first year, but I knew people that had a short contract and they were able to renew it within the building, and some people just moved out and got an apartment. But it depends on the contract if you want to stay again.
Yeah, and about the room, because I have friends in Groningen as well who have like a student house, and it feels like I'm living a luxurious life because
Yeah.
we have our own bathroom. The building is there since 2023, so it's very luxurious. And well, I wanted maybe to move out with friends, and then but right now I really like my room and how it is because it's quite close to the city center.
Mhm.
And Jill asks, so you can stay again past the first year? Yeah, I think that really depends on the demand and ask. But well, yeah, we can make promises, of course, but I feel like there should be stuff possible with.
Yeah, it all definitely depends on the contract that you have. If you apply with a short stay contract, you get 1 year, that's it. If you apply with a long-term contract, then you can stay in your room for as long as you're studying. So for me, that would just be 3 years. I have this room for 3 years.
Yeah,
But
but you're not bound to the 3 years because I think I have the same. And if
yeah,
I
you can
want
leave
to,
whenever you want.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. But I think we missed some questions earlier
yeah.
about where are the students mostly from. I'm pretty sure UCG specifically has a 6-to-4 ratio or a 7-to-3 ratio of like 70% international and 30% Dutch,
Hmm.
if that's correct. Correct me if I'm
Yeah,
wrong.
I think.
Yeah. So most of my friends are international. Maybe it's because I'm international, but also just because there are more international students. And it's really, I find it super cool that I have friends from like all over.
Yeah, and I think the international students are more likely to integrate with Kairos and everything because if you're Dutch, you can also get a room and integrate into different parts of Groningen in essence
Mhm.
because it's more accessible for people who talk Dutch.
Yeah. And how many hours per week do we study on average? I would say I study like at least like minimum 2 hours a day. But I think that would definitely depend if it's like final season. Finals is coming up soon, so I know I'm gonna have to be at the library for like probably the whole day unless I don't have class. But
Well,
finals.
I'm a good learner, so luckily, so I don't have to study that much. So well, I'm not every day 2 hours a day, but yeah, it depends. Maybe I'm a bit of a procrastinator, so sometimes I have days that I have to do a lot of work because then I procrastinated a lot. But
Mhm.
I think what Selma says is quite average. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty average, I would say.
All right, cool. So, people, if you have any other questions, please feel free to drop them in the chat. Now, Selma, you covered it a little bit already. You mentioned specifically the iconic place in Groningen, which is the Hoek. Do you
But
have any culinary tips? Because as we all know, the Netherlands, we are very much known for our culinary sense. If you have any
oh, totally.
tips for us?
On the snack hook,
Yeah, and
I mean, if you go to the snack hook, you obviously have to get an eierbal. If you don't know what an eierbal is, please look it up. It is a Groningen staple. Um, should I say what it is exactly?
Yeah, yeah, sure.
Okay,
yeah, let's
okay,
just put
okay.
it all out there.
So you got to follow me on this. It's a hard-boiled egg wrapped in this really delicious curry sauce and then deep fried. It does sound kind of crazy, but Dutch people might be crazy. I don't know, but it's really good. And I'm an international student, so like take this from me. Um, but yeah, just like as I was saying before, like after a night of going out with your friends, like you want to go home, but you have to eat before you go to bed. You're gonna stop by the snack hook and get something. Like,
Yeah, and
and
but
it's crowded.
besides the snack hook, you also have like around the corner, you have Hazret, and that's kebab. So
Kebab and pizza.
there have been mornings where I wake up with a kebab beside my bed. But
Yeah, I think the proper word is infamous is to describe.
Infamous.
I hope we're not scaring people away, but it is very much a part of student life in
It is.
Groningen. Some things, some things you just hit no matter where you're at in
Yeah.
life. I think that's really, really beautiful.
Don't be scared.
Yeah, speaking of culture in the city, you guys talked already a little bit about what you do besides your studies. Any tips there? Like, what are the hot and happening places in 2026? I'm dying to know.
Hot and happening places for work.
For outside the UCG, when you're done with studying and you want
Mhm.
to unwind a little bit, maybe go to a performing arts center or maybe just dance the night away in a club.
Oh well, I would dance the night away. What would you do, Kai?
well, I'm not. I'm more of a pub kind of guy instead of the clubs. But going out is also a part of my weekly routine. Uh, but yeah, because I'm Dutch, I might differ a bit from you. But I really like Negen de Cirkel. Have you? No,
I'm gonna say no, but it's just not
yeah,
my personal
a
choice.
lot of internationals go to, of course, Copas and Sunny Beach.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's a lot of international music, but I also like some Dutch music. Well,
Mhm.
and there are a lot of places you can go to. Then you have Palace. That's, I think, the biggest one for
Palace is
going out.
fun.
Yeah, but sometimes it's a bit too overwhelming for me. I really like a bit the low key
Pub
bars
vibe.
and yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Oh, Palace is
Maybe
like
because we have the, I'm sorry for interrupting you, maybe because we have the picture on screen of the Noorderplantsoen, maybe you can describe what life is like in Groningen in the summer days, because I know the Noorderplantsoen is very much a hotspot for students to hang out in.
I mean, it's amazing. Everyone
yeah.
just kind of sits out in the sunshine, brings a blanket, brings a little picnic. I've done it so many times with my friends. Like, well, I'll just go to the grocery store and get some little snackies, bring a speaker, some drinks, and everyone's just like in the sunshine. Because one thing about Dutch people is they get very little sun, but when they do, you know that they're outside, like
Yeah.
in the sunshine. So
No,
yeah.
I have certain days in the week where I eat with certain groups of friends. So on Thursday, I have a group of friends I always eat with, and well, when it's sunny out, we go to Noorderplantsoen. We get some pizzas from New York Pizza or Domino's. We buy a crate of beer and just bring a ball and have a fun time. And then afterwards, we are going out or
Yeah.
go to some place and have some more drinks. So
Mhm.
there's always something to do in Groningen.
For
It's
sure.
definitely a beautiful experience. Now, I have something else in my image playlist that I want to show the fine people here. This is going to be our new campus. It is currently still under construction. If you enroll with us, you're going to experience both the old campus, well, the current campus basically, and our new campus. This is the Mien Bladegroen building. And Selma, you actually did a little bit of a profile on Mien Bladegroen.
Mhm.
Maybe you can share some of that with us. Who was Mien Bladegroen and why was she so important that we named the building after her?
She was a professor at the University of Groningen way back when, and I'm pretty sure she was one of the first female professors in the building. But she was just a really big name in Groningen specifically, and the building was named after her. If you were to go to the UCG Instagram, you would see a whole video profile on that and kind of like the unveiling of the new building. The Instagram is just UC Groningen, and stay up to date on that.
Yeah, it's quite confronting, as we will likely, unless we fail this year, we won't experience.
Yeah.
But
Look, we'll
I
we'll
think,
sneak you in the back door.
yeah,
That's
yeah, yeah.
totally fine.
I'll definitely come back once it's finished.
Mhm.
Yeah, it is going to be awesome. We're all really, really psyched. It's literally years in the making because, it's a big project. You don't really just build a building overnight, but when it's done, it's going to look really, really awesome. And I really like this next render because it's very close to our reality of the past week. We had a little bit of a weather situation here in the Netherlands. We had a lot of snow and ice, which we're not really used to anymore these days. But people had a lot of fun in the snow. So that's a really, really a cool experience. And this is kind of what it's going to look like when it's done. So, guys, if you have any other questions, any last minute questions, please feel free to drop them in the chat. And don't forget, we have an open day if you are interested. We have an open day coming up on the 30th of January. I'm going to drop the link in the chat. You can sign up there. And also, if you can't make that, we also offer what is called Student for a Day. And that's really recommended because what happens is you pick a date with us and we will link you up with one of our UCG students. And you kind of shadow, follow them around for a day, experience really what it's like to take classes at campus and, experience the UCG life here on campus, and that's really, really recommended. So yeah, we're gonna wait if there are any other questions coming in, and if not, I think we will wrap up for tonight. Thank you, Selma. Thank you, Kai. Thank you so much for
Yes, of
sharing your
course.
experience. We have one last question
Yeah.
coming in. Is Student for a Day online? No, that is an in-person visit. So you would pick a date with us where you would come to Groningen, and then we link you up with a UCG student and follow them around for a day. And at the end of the day, you will have every opportunity to ask as many questions as you want about student life, life on campus, our curriculum, and also our admissions requirements. So if we have any you're very welcome. If we have any other questions, if not, we will wrap up for tonight. Thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. Don't forget, tomorrow we have a session with our academic advisors. They will be able to tell you more about stuff like going on exchange, how to get an internship, and also life after UCG. So if you've made it this far, that's definitely recommended that you tune in again tomorrow. But for now, thank you guys so much for joining us. Thank you, everyone in the chat. Thank you, Selma. Thank you, Kai. And we will see you tomorrow. Thank you guys so much.
Of course. Bye.
Bye.